And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Howdy folks, today we're taking a look at Duplik. Duplik, I think? Maybe just Duplik. Yeah, just once, but it's written twice. And that's because in this game, it's a drawing game in which I am telling you a picture and you have to draw it. Now, I know some people say, I can't draw. Many people can't draw. That has nothing to do with this game. This game is, can you follow instructions or can you give instructions? Now, this is a reprint of a game. I actually reviewed it in its original form called Portrayal, and then I believe it was reprinted as Identik, which I think was nominated for the Spiel des Jahres, and now it's out again as Duplik. I liked it back then. This is essentially the same game. Let's take a look at it. Now each player is going to get a sheet or sheets as the game goes by, and if there's one negative thing about this game is it doesn't come with enough sheets. I mean, not even close to enough sheets. You'll get through maybe a few games with these. You'll have to buy more sheets. So I wouldn't even use these sheets. I'd go out and buy a pad of paper for the game, and then I would just use the back of them as score sheets. So anyhow, one person's going to be the art director each turn, and that person is going to draw from a deck of cards that'll give you really strange and unusual pictures. So you can see this picture here, you know, is pasta to go, and here we have ice sculpture. So they're really strange, different, weird pictures that you will have. You're going to take this picture, and then you're going to take 90 seconds, and you're going to describe the picture to everybody else. So on this picture here, I might say, okay, there's a man standing on a pile of 5 apples. He is to the right of a tree. He's reaching for an apple in a tree, and so on and so forth. I can say anything I want about this picture. I'm going to be as clear as I possibly can. No one can ask any questions. Players cannot talk to each other. They're going to draw this picture. So here they draw the picture, and of course it doesn't look very good. That doesn't really matter. They're just drawing the picture as best they can. Once everyone's done drawing the picture, you take this, and with the magic of the Captain Crunch thing, you'll go over this, and everyone will pass their picture to somebody else, and then you're going to read these. Now, these are hard to see on camera, so I'll just read them to you. There must be at least 10 chicken toes visible in the scene. 10 chicken toes? And then the next one says, the man is standing on exactly 5 apples. Okay, I got that one. Maybe not the way that they wanted me to get it. Let's see if I get the next one here. The leftmost chicken is also the largest of the chickens. Okay, well, actually, the rightmost chicken. Oh, well, whatever. There's at least 1 apple in the tree. Hooray! There's 1 apple in the tree. The man's nose is closer to the top of the canvas than the sun is. Well, there's his nose, and there's the sun. Nope, that doesn't work. And so you'll go through each thing. Now, you can see these things are things you may not have expected to be part of the picture. And as you go through, you'll mark whether you got these things right or wrong on here. And at the beginning of each round, you'll have rolled a 10-sided die. One of them is worth bonus points if you get that one. When you're done, you'll total how many you got correct. The bonus points included, and that's how many points you have. The art director is going to get 1 point for each question that somebody got right. Okay, so out of the 10 questions, even if 4 people got 1 right, that's still only worth 1 point to him. But if 1 person got 1 right and 3 people got 2 right, that's 2 points. So he can have a possible of 10. All these points will be added together on these score sheets, and that's the game. See this woman here with the telephone and a kid? That was originally this picture. Do they look the same? No. But that's how the game works. You're trying to get people to just draw these. It doesn't have to be a work of art. You're just trying to get them to get the things that are on the hidden section of the card. When I say that this game is essentially the same game, I really do mean that. It is almost identical, with the difference being that whole red Captain... I call it Captain Crunch because when I was a kid, we used those to find clues in the back of Captain Crunch boxes. But the hidden messages... Not a big fan of that. They're not easy to see. Like I said, you couldn't see it on the camera, but you can't even really see them in real life that well. And there's not enough score pad stuff. And, you know, I wish the components were better. There's a decent amount of pictures. They're all double-sided, and you only use a few per game. But I really like the concept of this game because you're giving instructions and it seems pretty clear. It's not like there's a ton of stuff in the picture, but you'll forget. You might forget how many buttons the person has on their shirt or the fact that the buttons are above their arm or what have you. And so you're trying, once you play a couple times, you're like, okay, so this is left of this and this is right of this and this is above this. And then they ask about something completely different, which is really entertaining. Sometimes you get it right by accident. Sometimes you get it right because the person gave clear directions. It could be somewhat of an educational game as you teach someone to be clear in what they're talking about. And it can show you sometimes just how clear you aren't. Oop. Yes, example. What you can't do during a game. And I like that, and just in life, how to give clear instructions. So there's that, but it's also fun. The pictures are silly, they're simple, they're weird, they're almost Dixit weird in what's on them, but that makes for good instructions to give people. Again, you don't have to be a good artist. It's good. You saw my picture there. Which one was mine? The worst one. But I like it. It's a solid party game, and you'll get some real laughs at the pictures, but at the same time, there's a real game in here, too, not just silliness that's in many party games. So that's Duplik. Dice Tower Judgment, approved.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.